Pranam Shimanti. Jai Shri Mataji. Let us all bow down to her and raise our kundalis, put ourselves in bandhan, and put ourselves into a meditative state. The reality is that we are the spirit. Everything else is a myth. And the totality is when the spirit merges into the absolute, that is, into God Almighty and His power, that is Shrimataji. And then we just become part and parcel of the whole. But the work is that becoming part of the totality, then one becomes this enormous rain cloud which comes back and showers all the blessings of the divine wherever. That's when we become the instruments of Shri Adi Shakti. Let's take a moment with all the reverence, dedication, that feeling of tremendous gratitude and love in the heart. Just surrender ourselves to Shri Mataji. Now for a moment, just separate ourselves from ourselves and just watch ourselves from the eyes of our spirit, in the light of our spirit. This is called as abhyas the practice of just witnessing. Even if you're seeing in your awareness certain catches or something, don't get stuck on it. Keep the attention in the Sahasrara at the feet of Shrimataji. Just witness. Now put the same attention at her lotus feet in the Sahasrara. And just surrender, knowing that she's everything, she does everything. And how fortunate we are to be in her attention and to be given our self-awakening, our awareness, our knowledge by her directly. With our attention on the Muladhara in the Sahasrara, we request Sri Ganesha to bless us with humility, absolute innocence, and surrender to Shrimataji. Let us take his name. Sri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. One more time. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Once more. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Now we'll take offer the mantra of Sri Mahaganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahaganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. And then that innocence took the form of Lord Christ. So let's offer the mantra to Sri Swayam Prakashai, Jesus, Mary Mataji. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jesus, Mary Mataji, Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. One more time. Shri Swayam Prakashai means the one who is the eternal light himself. Shri Jesus, Mary Mataji. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Swayam Prakashai Jesus, Mary Mataji, Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Just meditate for a couple of minutes, trying to establish a thoughtless awareness. Now bowing down to her lotus feet, we request her that Shimaji kindly give us that permission, give us that humility which is pleasing to you. Make us peaceful, pure, compassionate. Make us those instruments that work. And kindly permit us to worship you in the Sahasrara in our hearts with complete reverence and dedication of a saint, of an angel. We'll offer the Maha Mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Shri Maha Saraswati Shri Maha Kali Trigunaatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. We meditate for a few minutes at her feet in our sastraras before we start for today's proceedings. Okay, we'll get started now.
I see in my own country when they were fighting for freedom, my father himself gave up all his property, gave up his practice with 11 children in the family, and we were living in palaces, started living in huts for days together, for years together. But for the gross freedom, we'll do anything. But for the subtler freedom, the Sahaja Yogis have to do everything that is possible. So the first thing is to realize, to be aware, to be in your conscious mind all the time that you are yogis. You are the ones who are very much higher than the rest of the humanity. That the salvation of the whole of the humanity depends on you. The purpose of creation will be served by you. So first of all, you have to be conscious in your consciousness that you are so important, and that's why you were given realization. How can you be living with your conditionings and with your ego? The conditionings are like this. Supposing you are coming from a Christian religion, then you must bring that little bit of that religion into Sahaja Yoga. Or if you are from a Hindu religion, you want to bring some out of that. We have all the essences of these in Sahaja Yoga, the pure essences. But we can't have the gross nonsense. All these things are like dirt over our sahasrara, which must be shaken off. So now you are aware and conscious of your chakras, you do not keep them clean. Ordinary human beings, if they have clothes, they have houses, they try to keep it clean. But you do not feel ashamed of them also when they are bad. Because you, after some time, you also lose the awareness of them. That means you have become subtler, but in your consciousness, you are not yet subtle. There are so many things you know more than the people who are not realized as absolute reality. For example, we don't even use vibrations. Whenever it is needed, we don't use it. Or sometimes mechanically, just like a machine, we start giving bandhas. So you are still unconscious about your chakras. Slightly conscious when you put your mind to it. Otherwise, in your central nervous system, you are not yet so conscious. This is the reason why you do not know why you have to do a thing at a particular time. Unless and until you rise to this vikalpa state, you cannot go further. For example, I know everything what I do. I can handle any power whenever I want to. I can absorb any negativity I want to. I need not absorb any negativity I don't want to. You may be thousands of miles away from me. I know about every one of you. I may not know your worldly names, but I know you as a part and parcel in my being. I also can behave like a human being, absolutely like you, aging like you, using spectacles, doing all the things that will make me a complete human being. I have accepted this role consciously, not unconsciously. To me, nothing is unconscious. So if you have to be conscious of what you are doing, you have to be alert about it. The first thing that you have achieved is the peace. The peace. But even now I find that peace, which should become joy, becomes a quarrel. Truth is one. You cannot argue about truth. It's a homogeneous thing. It doesn't quarrel with each other. We are unconscious about our fingers. But when we have to hold something, all of them come together. So the part of the brain which is working this out, the unconscious part of it, is to be made conscious. That is what evolution is. So now, adherence to any concept is against evolution. You must learn to face the reality, to accept the reality and act a real way. Now, you may say, Mother, this is a miracle. Something happens, this is a miracle. Maybe for the human beings, maybe for Sahaja Yogis also. But not for me, because I know what it is. So to rise above this halfway consciousness, one has to see how you are working it out. The whole system of relating to each other must change completely. That is very important, at least for Western people. Because at least in India, people know that human efforts lead you nowhere. You have to take to your ascent. I mean, the real Indians. Some of them do take advantage of Sahaja Yoga and then disappear. Some of them do. But mostly, they know that you have to be conscious of what you have got. So we can say that we have got self-knowledge, but we haven't got self-consciousness. Now, for example, you take somebody's name, say, of some great saint, you feel the vibrations are flowing. Also, you know why? Because he is a saint. But why not you, the Sahaja Yogis? If your names are taken, why not the vibrations flow? And in this, you have greater advantages because the Adi Shakti herself is before you. They didn't have anybody to tell them all these things. But the disadvantage of that is this, that you take it for granted. Now in expression, when we say something, when we express, are we natural? No. Are we doing it from our heart? The consciousness that I'm doing it from my heart is what I want you to achieve. Like there are people who work very hard in Sahaja Yoga. Others will just take it for granted. They do not want to help. They want everything to be ready-made. That shows that they are not conscious of their own powers of enjoyment. If they do it from their heart, then they will never feel what effort they have put in. They will only feel what they have been blessed with or what they have achieved. Now the second stage would be where you will be conscious of whatever you are doing, where there will be no mistakes. Whatever you will do may appear to be mistake, will turn out to be all right. Nobody is so far like that, so I would like to tell you. Because some people do feel, whatever I say of praising the thing, I am saying it to them. Now for example, today I had my watch, I wanted to set my watch, so I pulled this screw up. Say, simple thing. Now this I did, I would say in a way unconsciously but quite consciously. Because watch stopped and I knew the time what time I have to be there for puja. So consciously I have put myself against myself. If the watch had not stopped, I would have come earlier. But that was not the time I had to come. So I had to pull the screw to keep it stopped. So whatever mischief you play, you know, and you can play it against yourself also. And then you can make a drama. Oh, I made a mistake and things like that. For nothing at all. But such a stage is far off, I must tell you. Just now, the stage at which we are still making lots of mistakes because we are not self-conscious. In a gross way, we understand this word self-consciousness like this: a person has to go for the interview, then he'll select his suit properly, he'll comb his hair properly, before going he'll clear his throat. Self-conscious. But when it is the question of your ascent, are we alert? Or we are taking it for granted that mother is just now going to give us a nice bath, put us in the cradle and take us there. You have to mature in your ascent. Now you may say, what should we do? Face yourself every day. In reality, see how much time you spend about mundane worries and how much about your ascent. Have you left everything, all your worries, to God Almighty? Have you completely jumped out of your background? Have you come out all the way, leaving everything that was nonsensical? And how do I relate to others? How do I talk to others who are Sahaja-yogis? I am surprised sometimes if the one Sahaja-yogi is attacked by a non-Sahaja-yogi, that a Sahaja-yogi group should support a non-Sahaja-yogi. Or a Sahaja-yogi who has to come up pays more attention to the negative people than to the positive. He relates better to the people who are negative than to the people who are positive. He is more friendly and open with the negative persons than with the positive. You have to cling on to the positive, but it's always the other way round, because also is a very subtle ego in there. All these subtle understandings I have told you many a times. But with your complicated brain, which is like a machine, like a spoiled computer, you can reach some conclusions out of what I have said, which are just contrary. Like, supposing I say you forget the past. That means you forget everything that is good of the past. That is as if you should not understand why you are behaving like this. Forget the past means don't allow the past to overpower you. A brain which is simple, which is straightforward, which has got love in it, can understand what I am saying straightforward. This complicated brain is to be put right. And the best way is to stop thinking. Just stop thinking. That's what you have to do. Now when you stop thinking, you feel that nothing can be done. But by thinking only you don't do anything. Now for example, I have to give you a speech now. But I start thinking about it. What will you hear? Can you hear my thinking? You have to say, enlighten these lives. All right? Then you just start thinking about it. I have to enlighten. Will it get enlightened? This is to be understood that by thinking you do not do anything. Thinking is lazy man's garb and is used to avoid work. Once I asked a lady I had in the house that we are going out, will you be cooking something for us? When we came back, she had not cooked anything. I used to cook every day, but she had not cooked anything. I said, why? Why didn't you cook something for us? She said, I thought you may eat outside. She was a Western lady. So my husband said, all right, we are going to eat outside, you stay at home. I said, does it look nice? He said, no, let her know what she thought is meant for herself. So this is the escape which you have learned before, the cleverness. So you do not argue about it. Do not argue about Sahaja. You do not argue with your leaders. You may be his wife, but don't argue. We are having a very bad time from some of the wives of the leaders because they try to influence the husbands. As far as Sahaja Yoga is concerned, they have nothing to do with that. Supposing you are working in an office and the husband is some great official and you are a clerk, will you correct the husband? In this case, the women have to nourish the organization, nourish the husband with love from their heart and not from their brain. I think it's so great to have been born as a woman myself, because I can enjoy the heart, the emotions of my love, the working and the play of my love. It's so great that no incarnation can enjoy that as I can. So the women should not feel degraded if they have to look after the heart. They are in a higher aspect. You can do without thinking, but you cannot do without that. So the ladies should not argue with their husbands if they are leaders. And also one should not argue otherwise also. Because I've seen if the women are very argumentative, the men become deaf. They just don't listen what women are talking. If they are very aggressive, then the men become absolutely shut up. So in relationship with each other, you must behave in a natural way that you are a man and you are a woman. You should become more a woman and more a man. And then you will see the fun. Imagine in this world if there were only men or only women, what would have happened?
Very boring.
So, we have to know that in our awareness, we have to be conscious how far we have achieved the consciousness for our relationship with each other. That is the collective consciousness of Virat, of the brain. That is of Sahasrara. So in principle, Sahasrara is Vishnu Tattva. But the deity is Mataji Nirmala Devi. So you can see how the beautiful integration has taken place. All the powers of Sri Vishnu have to act according to the deity, surrendered at the lotus feet of the deity. So the consciousness of Sri Vishnu is absolutely in the hands of the deity. I do not want to talk about this tremendous deity. It's too much. Because it may fill you up with awe. So whatever is working out, allow it to work out. They say surrender your Sahasrara to this deity. And it's so simple for you because you have the deity, you have your own Sahasrara, And it's only you, the people who are Sahaja today, in modern times, have seen that deity. They say that you have to ask for three things called Salokya, Samipya, Sanidhya from God, meaning to see God. Salokya, Samipya, the closeness with God, and Sanidhya is the companionship of God. But you have got Tadatmya, is oneness with God, not in the concept of any one of the yogis and the saints and the seers who have been before. And this Tadatmya you have when you are outside my body. While they have this Tadatmya, when they are inside my body, they are no more. So you should understand the time limit. You must understand your greatness, and you must understand how you people are chosen for the highest work in this creation. So now there's no time for lethargy. Now you have to rise and awake. Today is the day when I hope you have to jump into Nirvikalpa. But only by effort you will stay there, otherwise you will again slip down. So go through this lecture again and again and do not think about it. Don't think that it is for somebody else, it is for you, for all of you, each of you. And you must know yourself how far you are going every day. Today's special day of Sahasrara. Actually, if you see, it is according to the sun calendar. Sahasrara would have been tomorrow. It is a Monday, which is a Sahasrara. And just imagine that we are having it one day earlier. So one has to know that the calendar of God has nothing to do with the human calendar. According to certain calendars, I should have come 2000 years later. And something I should have come at least 2000 years back in this form. So the calendar is all right, timing is all right, everything is all right. You are not robots, you are not machines. You are evolved through evolutionary process, and through evolutionary process only you have to achieve the higher. So whatever we may do, or whatever may be all right, it's you who have to show the results. We may take your Sahasrara to a great enlightenment, but again it will collapse. You have to know that whatever heights you are brought to, it is you who have to maintain it with full willpower and action. May God bless you.
Now the essence of puja is also how to overcome our material grossness. Puja is nothing but is how to overcome our material grossness. When we want to have a matter to ourselves, we must know that it is given to us by God. Everything belongs to God. Supposing we give flower to God, after all it is God's own creation. What are we giving? We show light to God or do arti to God. What? It is all God's light only. What do we do? But by showing light to God, what we do is to be worship light within us. The light element gets enlightened within us. The light element is here on the Agya. When you do arti or when you put light before God, when you show light to God, the light element within you gets enlightened. When you give flowers, Muladhara gets enlightened. When you get honey, then your attention gets enlightened. So why we give it to God? After all, God doesn't need anything. But God is the enjoyer. You are not the enjoyer. You cannot enjoy. Enjoyer is God. In you, when God is there, that enjoys, that is the spirit. So whatever pleases your spirit is used in the puja to be given. Now you give rice. All these things are discovered that you give rice to the Devi. Rice should be put in her lap. Now what is rice? A little rice to a Devi. Is by putting rice in you the satisfaction of getting food, or food that gives you satisfaction is enlightened. But that doesn't mean you start showering things on me. That doesn't mean that. What I'm trying to say, do it with dignity and understanding. Now these flowers, when you give it to me, Muladhara, they give you two things, Swadhisthana and Muladhara. Flowers, that's why very important. They give Swadhisthana. If the flowers are beautiful, then they give Swadhisthana. And if they are fragrant, they cure your Muladhara. Now, I mean, there's no end to flowers also. But think about it, that you are doing it to improve your chakras. Then other things that are used, like say ghee. Ghee is used. It is for Sri Krishna is very fond of ghee and butter. So when you rub my feet with say butter, your Vishuddhi will improve. You know that. Not mine. I have no problem. I have only one problem, that you are within me, and when you have problem, I have problems. Because these vibrations have to go to you. So I prepare vibrations here as an antidote, and they have to flow. It's a very subtle thing to understand. To move from gross to spirit, this is the thing by which you move. Because first you enlighten your chakras. By enlightening your chakras, your deities get happy, prasanna. By making the deities happy, you get a passage for the Kundalini to pass through. By making the passage for the Kundalini goes up. And then your attention starts becoming one with the spirit. It is step by step. You move from matter to subtler matter, from subtler matter to your chakras, from chakras to deities, from deities to the spirit. Then spirit enjoys itself. So there you do not have to do anything. Just give your spirit to spirit. That's why these things were prescribed. It's called as oti barne. That you give me rice, I beg of you. Actually, you put it in my, rice. You give me 5 times, I give you 7 times back. You should do little arti to my photograph. It's a good idea. Now, when you do the arti also, somebody is shouting at the top of his voice. He's trying to lead others. Then another trying to lead others. This should not be. There should be some homogeneous. I can make it up. There's no rhythm. Sing in the same tone, same style. Try to make it one, concord should be there. In a humble way, in joyous way, that we all are singing. All our hearts are singing. All of us are here to do it. So many of us are. Feel that joy. We are so many.
Today is a great day, I should say, in a way, because I am going to tell you one thing great. That is Sri Ganeshwara. In Marathi they call it Jnaneshwara. He was the incarnation of Kartikeya. And Saraswati, who was a virgin, she looked after him like her own son. He was the brother of Sri Ganapati, but she looked after him. And then also this description how he was born and all those is very interesting. But here, in this place, in this Maharashtra, he took his incarnation. And also there were many great, very great saints. In so many numbers took their birth in this Maharashtra. But such horrible people, they tortured their lives. Worse than Christian Inquisition, I tell you. Worse than any Inquisition anywhere. Individually they attacked. And that same people are born again in this great country of Maharashtra. They are very talented people. They write very well. Their language is so rich. You can see that what description of a realized soul given by Ganeshwara is so beautiful. He says that the moon doesn't run after moonlight. The sun doesn't run after sunlight. In that way, a realized soul doesn't bother about his own glory. The sun shines till it shines, then he takes back all his rays. Whatever work the rays have to do, they do it. And the sun is just watching. Watching all the work, then he takes them back. And he gets completely contained within himself. Somehow, completely contained within himself. The description he has given of realized souls is so beautiful if you could just experience it. Namadeva, who was born much later, said that even one line of Ganesha, if you could experience, you had the... I wish you all could read Amrutanubhava in English, understanding how he describes the realized. And you'll find that within yourself it has happened. You are different from others very much. You'll be amazed how you have got such beautiful description of yourself. I was talking about Maharashtrians. They are extremely talented people. See their music. In music, no one can beat them. See their drama. In drama, no one can beat them. You can see from films. In Maharashtra, only great films were created. The another one is Bengal, which is, I would say, different, but of the same level. With such a talented people here, it shows that God has a special blessing for these two. And should be, Maharashtrian should rise very high. But all the time complaining about others, talking ill of others, and something very low they do. I'm surprised. I hope you don't pick up anything from them. And also the fussiness that is of the North Indians. That's also not a very good thing. It's surprising how you people have adjusted yourself to this country which has all kinds of parasites, because you live with vibrations. You feel the vibrations. It's something so great to see you all here. And I'm telling them that they should try to understand you people. Really, I'm very proud of you all who have come all the way here. In this puja, I'm thinking of so many great saints who were born, who were great gurus, Mahagurus. Of course, Ganesha, I must say, is the king of all those highly evolved souls, no doubt.
There are 4 Lakshmi Tattvas within us. The first is the Lakshmi Tattva, where you become a person very dignified and endowed with material comforts. But comfort which kills you is not there. Comfort means you are materially no more bothered. You get jobs. In Sahaja Yoga, all those who are there, all of them have got jobs. All of them. It's difficult to find one person who hasn't got the job. Moreover, it is compulsory in Sahaja Yoga that those who stay in the ashram must have some jobs. We have tried to allow some people to come without that, but we had very bad experiences of such people. So all those who are living on dole or some sort of a thing, we don't allow them to come in the ashram. And you will be surprised that as soon as they join Sahaja Yoga, they get jobs. They get better and better jobs. Because Krishna has said, Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. When you get your yoga, your well-being will be looked after. He didn't say Kshema Yoga. He didn't say, I'll look after your well-being and then you go to yoga. No, first yoga. Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. First you get the yoga and then the Kshema will work. That's what happens to you on the Nabhi Chakra, which is very important. But Rajalakshmi, that is, you become like a king, that you become Grahalakshmi or Grahastha, means you become a householder. You become a good wife and a good husband. You develop proper feelings for each other and you develop proper feelings for your children. You improve your societies through that essence, if it is born in you, that you understand the importance of a good family life. And that automatically happens. You don't have to tell anybody. Just those people who hated each other after coming to Sahaja Yoga have started loving each other, understanding and enjoying each other. And married life in Sahaja Yoga is tremendous. You start enjoying the deeper significance of marriage. Then comes the fourth side of the Lakshmi Tattva. The fourth side is the ascending side. The people who have got more money are fed up and now want to have something beyond. In the same way, in Sahaja Yoga, when you start moving, then you find that nothing but spiritual life gives you real joy. So you just don't care for anything else but the spiritual life. And what is the spiritual life of Sahaja Yoga is that you become the light and you give light to others. Kartikeya is the innocence that is acting on the right hand side in the Pingala. And that is also, it is very much related to prana. It gives you prana. Prana is the vital breath that we take, breathe in and breathe out. So it is related to the right side. Then also it is related to eternity, Anantai. Ananta is the snake or the Shesha, which is the brother of Vishnu. So it is he who is represented here as Kartikeya. He is called as Ananta. So he is the fire. He is the one who ignites within you the capacity to consume the force, also the capacity to command the people, and also the capacity to be a person full of brilliance. You see, an innocent person could be very brilliant. All these capacities are expressed in Kartikeya's Swarupa, in his state. Today, by worshipping Kartikeya, we have to know that Kartikeya is now awakened within us. And with that capacity, we have to fight. Ultimately, he is the Nishkalanka. He is the one who is the final. So, from Ganesha to Christ to Nishkalanka. These are the three stages into which the innocence has gone. From Ganesha to Kartikeya, and now to Christ. And from Christ to Nishkalanka. In the form of Nishkalanka, he is innocent, so there is no kalanka, there is no spot on him, nothing. He is absolutely clean, immaculate. Plus, he is fiery. Plus, he has all the qualities of Ekadasha Rudra. Means the 11 qualities or the forces of Shiva, which can kill. So he has a capacity to kill and destroy, that is evil, and to give blessings and courage to his followers. This is the last incarnation, which is called as Kalaki. In normal words you call it Kalaki, is actually Nishkalanka, in the white horse.
So it is the Kartikeya who sits on the white horse. So how innocence grows within you now is up to the point of Kartikeya. This has been today done on this land, Jewish land as you call it, where Kartikeya is to be born within you, to be awakened within you.
Absolutely thoughtless after this puja. If that happens, I think we have achieved a lot. That's the biggest blessing that Christ has given you, which you should really enjoy. Then only this Akash Tattva in you will work. And how it works? Through your attention. It works with me, as you know. With my attention I work out many things. How? Just my attention has become thoughtless. Just thoughtless. It goes wherever it goes, it works. But if you put your attention for thought all the time, for thinking, then it doesn't do the work that it is supposed to do. Attention works marvelously if you are thoughtless, otherwise it doesn't. So it has to rise from your own self, then from others, to the higher level of humanity, where you are in communication with the sky, which we can call it as the Tanmatra, or the essential or the essence of ether. With ether you can have television, you can have telephone, it's a miracle otherwise. But with this Tanmatra, sitting down here, you can do the job. It works. Just attention works. I know that. You also know very well. But you don't have to ask me to put the attention. You just put the attention and it will work. It's a very important thing that you have got. I think that is the first thing. Once you have, no problem. But we start manifesting from the earth element, then from the Agni element, then from the Jala element, and then we come to Tejas. The face starts shining. But lastly we get this thoughtless awareness by which our attention is absolutely free to do some special work. But if you are all the time thinking, then for this attention is so busy, so very busy. You don't have to ask me then, Mother, please pay attention. You can pay attention and you can work it out. In this attention, you don't feel what you bought, what you are standing, what you are wearing, what others are doing. No, nothing. You are one with yourself. And it's a life full of humor. So much humor. So much of joy. So much of happiness. That you don't care for anything. That normally people care for. So, As it is now, Sahaja Yoga has worked in so many countries. I am so very proud of you, very, very proud. And now it is also going to African countries is a very great satisfaction for me. And you all can do it. You all can work it out. Only thing, become thoughtlessly aware as the blessing of Christ. If it works, you will be absolutely enjoying yourself. So may God bless you.
So, how are you enjoying yourself here? Very well. Wonderful place, isn't it? Nice to be standing on a
आए हम सब बैठ जाएं माँ का नाम
This is a recording of the advice given by Her Holiness Mataji Nirmala Devi on 28 September 1979 at Sundrabai Hall. Today's subject of discourse was Kundalini and Sri Kalki Shakti.
Today I am going to address you in English language as desired by you. Even tomorrow perhaps we may have to use this foreign language. Today's subject is the relationship between Kundalini and Kalaki. The word Kalaki actually is an abbreviation of the word Nishkalank. Nishkalank means the same as my name is, which means Nirmala. That it is spotlessly clean. Something that is spotlessly clean is Nishkalank, without any spots on. Now this incarnation has been described in many Puranas. Will be coming on this earth on a white horse. In a village of Sambhalpur they call it, Sambhalpur. It's very interesting how people take everything so literally. The word Sambhal means, Bhala is his forehead, Sambhal means at that stage. That means Kalaki is situated on your Bhala. Bhala is the forehead. And here he is going to be born. That is the real meaning of the word Sambhalpur. In between Jesus Christ and his destroying incarnation of Mahavishnu, called as Kalaki, there is a time given to human beings to rectify themselves, for them to enter into the kingdom of God, which in the Bible is called as last judgment. That you will be judged, all of you will be judged on this earth. The population of the world is the maximum, they say, because all those, practically all those who had aspirations to enter into the kingdom of God are born in the modern times and are going to be born very soon. This is the most important time because Sahaja Yoga is the last judgment. It is fantastic to hear this, but that's a fact and it's the truth. Though you can understand that mother's love makes it very easy for you to get to your realization, and that the whole story of last judgment, which looks such a horrifying experience, has been made very beautiful and very tender and delicate and doesn't disturb you. But this is the last judgment, I tell you, and you all are going to be judged through Sahaja Yoga whether you can enter into the kingdom God or not. Now in Sahaja Yoga, people come in with different kind of attentions or chitta. There could be people who have too much of tamasic kritya, or what we call the inertia or the more sort of sluggish or slow moving temperaments. These, when they are exaggerated, people take to spirits or take to alcohols or to some such things which take you away from reality and make you numb with it. The other side is, as you know, right-hand side, people who have got too much ambitions. They are extremely ambitious people. They want to win the whole world and they want to become something independent on their own, malignant and cancerous. They do not want to keep their relationship with the whole. You can see in this Kali Yuga how people have gone to their extremes. Some of them are very much indulging into too much of alcoholism, or you can call it something running away from your awareness, from yourself, from truth, the beauty. The others are denying it. They are denying everything that is beautiful and are ego-oriented. So we have people who are super ego-oriented, very much conditioned and lethargic and lazy and absolutely primitive. The other side is that we have people who are extremely ambitious, dominating, and are destroying each other by their ambition and competition. These two types of people of extreme nature are rather difficult to enter into Sahaja Yoga. But the people who are in the center are easily absorbed in the Sahaja Yoga. Moreover, people who are less complicated, simple-hearted as they are in the villages, are very easily absorbed by Sahaja Yoga, and they take to it without any difficulty. Say in the city you can see the result of so much of work of mine that there are hardly about 200 to 300 people today over here. But if I go to a village, the whole village, say up to 5,000 to 6,000 people come round and all of them get their realization without any difficulty. Because here people are supposed to be very busy, they have so many other preoccupations. They think other things are much more important than seeking God and wasting your time in such pursuits like seeking God. Under such circumstances, Sahaja Yoga takes its roots very sweetly into the heart of all the seekers. It works very spontaneously. You get your realization without any difficulty, without any effort, without paying for it, without going into any sort of strenuous exercise. But when we talk of Kalaki, we have to remember that between getting our realization and entering into the kingdom of God, we can falter very much. This is called as Yoga Bhrashta Sthiti. People take to yoga, they come into yoga and are then enchanted still by their pravrittis. For example, an ego-oriented man or a money-oriented man or a man who wants to dominate can form a group of people whom he would dominate by his ideas and can go in for a fall, and the rest of them will also go down in Sahaja Yoga itself. This has been happening in Bombay very, very often. It's a very, very common thing that has been going on. But this is called as Yoga Bhrashtata, where a person falls from his yoga. He comes down on his yoga because Sahaja Yoga gives you all the freedom whether to fall or to come up. But if you go to any other guru, doing any other sort of yoga in which purification takes place and where people are trained and disciplined from very childhood, in those yogas, a guru will somehow or other see that you are injured or you are hurt so badly that you have no connections with anybody else. It's like an operation. They take out that personality and throw him up. But here it is left to your freedom to understand that you have to keep to the mains. You have to keep to the group. You have to keep to the whole and not to one person here and there who is trying to overpower the rest of it. In Sahaja Yoga, anybody who tries to come up too much comes down, because in nature you have seen nothing grows out of bounds. Like human beings are of a certain height, the trees are of certain heights, everything is controlled. You cannot try to show off in Sahaja Yoga, neither you should try to make a different group or a different type of some special thing. Especially I have seen in Sahaja Yoga there are people who come up and ask people to touch their feet. It is most surprising that invariably such people get exposed in no time and one knows that they are gone cases. Because their chakras are caught, they are badly caught, though they may not feel for a while. Their vibrations may be there, but they go down and down and down till they are completely finished. Now this Yoga Bhrashta Sthiti is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. First of all, you don't get your yogas. And if you get your yogas and then jump to this sort of a condition about which Sri Krishna has described, that you go into Rakshasa Yoni. Those who come to Sahaja Yoga
must know that you have to stick on to one thing properly. Otherwise, what is the yoni left? If you die without yoga, maybe you are born again, maybe. Of course, this life is wasted. But if you try such tricks after coming to Sahaja Yoga and try to impress on others that you are a very great realized soul or that you have achieved this and achieved that, all this nonsense that you have been doing before getting to realization, then there is a very serious offense and you are punished for that. This is the power of Kalaki which is secretly working behind Sahaja Yoga. For example, there was a lady who came to see me, wanted to publish something about me, and she was paid by some horrible fellow. And she published something nonsensical, something that I never do. So everybody was very annoyed and angry and said, Mother, we must punish her and we must take her to courts, we must do defamation. I said, I'm not going to go to court, you better go give up these ideas. But nobody would listen. You see. It so happened that that paper closed down for 3.5 months. And they had such a big setback. Of course, this is not done by me, I would say, as far as Mataji Nirmala Devi is concerned, but is done by Kalaki. Kalaki means there are 11 powers which are guarding the beauty of Sahaja Yoga. Anybody who tries to play around with Sahaja Yoga is harmed very badly. So today is a day of telling you about the dangers of playing with the divine. So far, people have been taking them for granted. They have tortured people like Christ. They have tortured great saints all the time. Human beings have been torturing. And I've been warning in every lecture practically that don't try that trick today because Kalaki is already on. And don't try to trouble anybody who is a saintly person, who is a good person. Be careful about it because Kalaki is on. And once this power comes on you, you would not know how to hide yourself. Not only those who are Sahajogis, but this I am telling to the whole world today, that be careful. Do not try to harm others. Do not try to take advantage of others. And do not try to show off your own power. Because once this destruction will start in your life, you won't know how to stop it. Once I went to, I think I've told you before also this thing, that I went to Andhra Pradesh and there I told people that you should not grow any more of this tobacco. And they were very angry with me because they thought this was their living. They're minting money and indulging in all kinds of things, making too much money and doing all kinds of papas. I said, in this world today you have come not for creating more pap and more karmas on your head, but to do the cleansing of the papas, the papakshkalana. You have not come here to add to your sins, but to cleanse them. This is the time of cleansing. That's why I am here as Nirmala, to cleanse it. While what are you doing is to add to your papas, what are you going to gain out of growing this horrible tobacco? But they would not listen to me. And then in 3 of my lectures, it is on the tape, people are saying, that I said that be careful. The Kalaki in the sea will take respite on you. It will come on you, and you know what happened in Andhra. Same with Morvi, I will tell you. Only last year some people met me from Morvi. Some very big people from Morvi. And they all believed in a horrible saint who is a horrible fellow and who has really destroyed families after families. I told them, why do you believe in this man? He is taking your attention to materialistic things. Why do you believe in him? Every house in Morvi had the picture of this horrible saint. And when I told them, they would not listen to me. They thought that I was just warning them because I was sort of jealous of the fellow. And you know what has happened about Morvi. It's a fact. All these things have been said in the presence of other people so that they have noted it down, that what has happened in what place and how Mataji has said. Before that, also in Delhi once, I met some of these people from Vrindavan and who were telling me about the pandas and this and that. And I said, all of you give up your professions, horrible people you are. What business have you got to make money in the name of God? And all those pandits and pandas and all these people are horrible parasites on the society. You get out of your jobs, or the river Ganges on which you have been feeding yourself will one day ruin you completely. And when the floods in the river Yamuna and the Ganges came in, I was in London, I saw on the TV all these pandas running away with their khomchas and everything. Of course, with these horrible people, when you associate, when you live with them, you also suffer. The innocent suffer. Why should you be impressed by such people? That's the thing you have to pay for. When you are impressed, you are so compromising. After all, doesn't matter, we are going there, so we must give something to this fellow also. He is a panda of our forefathers sitting down there and begging money, sitting before the river Ganges. Imagine, the giver of love and the giver of joy is flowing there, and these people are sitting with their backs towards the river and asking money from you. What silly people they are, such stupid, useless people. And you pay them money and you think that you have done a great punya by donating money to them. This sort of life we have been leading, a compromising, not understanding what is truth, what is not truth. One side is a complete blind faith into all this kind of thing that is going on in this country and all over the world, but especially too much in this country. We are simple, innocent people with lot of bhavikta within us. That's true, but that doesn't mean we should be stupid and foolish. For example, the other day at a meeting in a place called Avargaon, I said that these people in the Vitthala's Mandir, called as Badave, should be nicely punished for the way they are ill-treating these saints going down there on their feet for days together, and something must be done to them. And everybody was a little annoyed when I said, because for these poor people, these Badavas, who are Rakshasas incarnate, are something great. They break the heads of the people who walk all the thousands of miles there. They break their heads just like coconuts, and all of them have pain in the head. Such cruelty they confer on these innocent, simple people. And do you think I should support them when I stand for truth and for religion and for compassion? When I said this, some people, you see, who had some vested interest, must be the relations of the Badavas or whatever it is, got angry with me. But thank God, within 3 months' time, the whole thing has been taken over by government. It is so common with us that we see with our open eyes what is happening. Still, we will be going on doing the same thing in the temples, even in the name of God. We are doing sins after sins. We are adding sins to our sins, and instead of clearing it out and understanding it through our developed brain, we just go on adding it. This is what I call the people who are tamasic, who do not use your brains. They are muda buddhis. They just follow somebody because there's some sort of a hypnotic influence or some sort of a charismatic movement that is on in the West. You can see these charismatic people will take thousands of rupees from them, thousands of rupees, and they will give them epilepsy, gangrene, if not that, madness, lunacy, all sorts of things. But people like mad are running after all these movements and are adding up to their destruction, to their pile of sins that they have committed, instead of spending some time in cleansing their sins. This time, what we have got is a most precious time, and one has to be very careful and alert about oneself. One should not depend on any other person for help in this, but should try to completely consolidate one's own being into the kingdom of God and occupy the highest seat in the heart of God Almighty. Because when Kalaki will come, he will slaughter all these people without any compassion. He is devoid of any compassion. There are 11 Rudras in him, means there are 11 destructive powers absolutely powerfully settled in him. And when I see all that, because I can see all that, this emergency grows into me, and I tell you, beware of it. Don't play fool with it. Don't take it easy, and do not compromise with nonsensical people. Stick on to the right. Otherwise, The day is very near when Kalaki is going to come. The other type of people are who think no end of their intelligence. They have denied God. They say, where is God? There is no God. We don't believe in God. It's all nonsense. Science is everything. What has science done so far? Let's see that. What has science done for us? Science has done nothing so far. It has only done all dead work. It has only made you ego-oriented. All the West is ego-oriented. They are finding all the methods of committing sins. How to commit the worst sins, they are finding methods. And there are certain gurus in India who are also supplying the knowledge how to commit even worse and worse and worse sins. So they can easily go with 2 running jumps to hell. Whatever is wrong, whether it is today, tomorrow, or yesterday, or thousands of years back. Whatever is wrong for your dharma, for your sustenance is wrong. The new phrase is that what's wrong in this? What's wrong in that? That question will be answered by Kalaki only. I am just telling you that it is wrong, and it is extremely wrong. It is against your assent. It is against your being, and then you will not have any time to repent and to ask this question, what's wrong? You will be chopped off. That is what is the Kalaki incarnation. He is going to come on a white horse, as they say. It's a tremendous thing that is going to work out. Every human being is going to be sorted out. And nobody can then claim. See, everything is being advertised. Everything is being published. Even this instrument that is created by science, we can use for spreading Sahaja Yoga. You know that if I put it on my chakras, you get the vibrations and you get your realization. The whole science is subservient to Sahaja Yoga. Like the other day, some TV people came, they said, Mother, we want to have your TV done. I said, you be careful before doing it. I don't want any publicity. But whatever you do it properly. Through TV, we can give Sahaja Yoga. Supposing I am there on the TV screen, I can ask people to put their hands, and there can be thousands who can get realization. Only seeing on the TV is a fact. That this is emitting from my being is a fact. Why should you feel angry about it? Why don't you come and test it? Why should you be hurt? Why your ego should hurt you if I am like that? If you are different, it doesn't hurt me at all. If you know one work of, say, organizing this or that, I don't feel bad. Why should you feel bad if somebody is a divine personality? Why did you feel bad that Christ was a divine personality? Why did you murder him? Why did you kill him? Why did you torture all the people who were such saintly people? You were very wise and sweet, isn't it? You have been very kind and nice people, running after all kinds of wrong type of useless, misguiding people. There are so many now who have come to misguide. They are taking money for you for misguiding. They are taking money for giving you sins. They are nicely booking you up for a trip to hell. They themselves are booked nicely there. And when I say about them, people feel very hurt that why should Mataji talk against these gurus? They are not gurus, they are Rakshasas. Once Christ stood up and said, these devils and the children of devil will have to go to hell. Then people got after him, they said, why do you say such things against them? They don't say anything against each other. Christ said, the Satan is not going to speak against his own house. They are very friendly with each other. There is no problem among them. They are very kind to each other, and all the disciples are being distributed. You take such a lot, I take such a lot, and all of us will go to hell direct. It's properly organized, like one train is going first, then the second train will leave, then the third train will leave. The other side of this kind of ambitiousness and the kind of ego orientation and money orientation we have all the time, we are busy with this money. I call it a Brahma, call it a hallucination. It's a big hallucination with you people that you are running after money. It's another hallucination that you are running after pretatmas and dead bodies. These are two mirages you are running after. What are you going to get out of this money? Go and see somebody who is supposed to be a very, very rich man. Just go and see, is he a happy man? What is the analysis of his life? So-called successful people, you just go and see them. What is the success they have? Who respects them? When they turn their back, people say, oh God, whose face have I seen? Let me go and wash my mouth. Are you auspicious? If somebody sees you, does any good comes out of you, some shubha happens to that person, are you kalyanmay? Are you mangalmay? What sort of a personality are you? Just judge yourself, and that judgment can take place here in Sahaja Yoga. We had a patient who came to Sahaja Yoga and he told me, Mother, I'm a young boy, but I don't know what has happened to me that I have become inauspicious. I said, how do you know? He said, wherever I go, there's a quarrel between husband and wife. Something goes wrong with the children start crying and shouting and screaming. And now I'm hated by everyone. Everybody says there's something wrong with you. I found out about him what was the matter. He got cured. Now he is emitting beautiful vibrations. You can have very negative vibrations going out of you. You might be doing sins without your knowledge, and you would say, oh Mother, I'm getting all the vibrations, I'm very good. Such people always deceive themselves and others. Very good at it. Oh, nothing wrong with me, I'm in first class condition, my vibrations are the best, and that I'm doing very well. Who is going to judge you is your deed. What good have you done to others? Recently we had a mishap like that. And I found all those people who were touched by that gentleman had left Swadhisthana catching. Very bad. And when I told them that this was a wrong thing to do, is to make this man so important, they all got after my life. There was a doctor who had come to see me, who is a Sahaja Yogi. His son came to see me, he's 8-year-old. He was a very good boy, had a realization, but he had a very bad Swadhisthana. So I asked him, does this man come to your house? He says, yes, Mother, he comes very often. Despite my warning, he would go to their house and they would entertain that gentleman. Instead of telling him that you go to Mother and get yourself cleared out. You see, they are enticed and hypnotized by such a person. I asked him, I said, have you got this man coming to your house? Yes, he said. I said, all right, go and beat him with shoes as we do in our Sahaja Yoga. And the boy got cleared out. Do you want to ruin your family, your children, everybody, because you are adhering to some hypnotic fellow? At least have some consideration for them. There are many like this, but in Sahaja Yoga it is very easy to discern. And even in London I know who is going where, what they are doing. I write to them, I tell them, don't do it. Just don't do it. I have nothing to do. Immediately you must understand that our mother who knows these things, she knows and she has told us it is the thing that is to be done, not to be argued. Did you get your vibrations through arguments? But still in Sahaja Yoga also people falter. And that's the worst thing they will do, because Yoga Bhrashtas are the most condemned. Where will they go? I have to warn all the Sahaja Yogis who are here, because Sahaja Yoga is the last judgment. Not only that you will be judged that you are entering into the kingdom of God, that you become the citizens of God is correct. But apart from that, that you are capable of being there. Whether you have the complete surrendering and understanding of divine laws. Even if you are belonging to, say, India and a citizen of India, but if you do mistakes and if you commit criminal laws, you will be punished even then. So even if you become the citizen of God, you have to be very, very careful about it. The second thing I would like to tell you is about the destroying powers of Kalagi. Today's lecture is going to be very sharp for you, because the incarnation that you have asked me to speak on is a very sharp one. It's the sharpest of all. We had, say, Krishna's incarnation when he had Hanana Shakti. He has killed Kamsa, he has killed so many Rakshasas, you know, as child also, he has killed Putana and so many people. But he had Leela also. He had love. And he did give concessions to people. He forgave people also. But Christ, who is the embodiment of forgiveness of Christ is nothing but is the power of sustenance within him. If he explodes, the whole forgiveness can come on us as a big disaster if we are not able to understand the value of his forgiveness. He has said very clearly that anything said against me will be tolerated. But a word against Holy Ghost won't be tolerated. He has clearly said it. And now you have to understand that. Holy Ghost is Adi Shakti. One has to understand that such an incarnation is imminent. And Krishna's powers are given to him which are only Hanana Shakti. Brahmadeva's powers which are only Hanana Shakti are given to him. Shiva's powers which are just Hanana Shakti, the part of it which is a Tandava, is given to him. Then Bhairava's Shakti, which is also, you know what Bhairava has got a symbol of killing, is a big sword-like thing. And also Ganesha's Parasha, and also Hanumana's all Navasiddhis which are going to destroy are given to him. All Buddha's forgiveness and Mahavira's Ahimsa is going to turn upside down. All these 11 powers are going to come on top of us when we will be finished with Sahaja Yoga, when we will be absolutely sorted out and the last killing will be done by him. I wish it was just a killing. It is not going to be ordinary Hanana like even Devi has done. Because Devi has killed all these Rakshasas thousands of years back, but they are back in the seat again, all these Rakshasas. Now the problem is very different at the present moment, which you should try to understand. That in the olden days, till the Krishna's time, when he says that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, Vinashaya cha duskrutam, paritranaya cha sadhunam. These two words you must understand. To destroy the duskrutam means the cruel people or the negative forces, and to save the saints. Sambhavami yuge yuge. I am going to come again and again. But the problem of the Kali Yuga is that there is no pure and simple person as a sadhu or as a Rakshasa. So many Rakshasas have entered into your brains. You side with so many people who are wrong, who are doing wrong, who are doing all kinds of wrong things in the name of politics, in the name of religion, in the name of progress and education and all that. Once you are sided with them, then they are in your brain. They are within you. And when they are within you, how to destroy the Duskritams? They are within you. You may be a good person, but you may be destroyed because of having them in your heads. So there is no hard and fast rule as to say who is a real negative and who is a real positive. Only the Sahaja Yoga is going to cleanse you and make you absolutely positively good people and religious people. This is the only way, because your Ankura, when it starts giving you realization, you feel yourself, and with that self, you know that you are yourself and not this mirage. You start enjoying that self. Once you start enjoying it, you give up all these things that make you compromise and make you a horribly mixed up person. All this confusion can go away. So it is essential that we should take to Sahaja Yoga in the most dedicated manner and redeem ourselves of our all wrongdoings and also others whom we know. And this is the only thing that we can give to our friends, relations, and all the world around. People invite others for dinners, have drinks, this, that. What do you give them? Nothing. They will give presents on a birthday, they'll go around and give garlands and exchange good wishes and everything. In London, when there's a Christmas day, the cards pile up to such an extent that no letter can be sent for 10 days before Christmas. And where is Christ? On the day when Christ is born, they'll go in for a champagne. Such foolish people, even somebody dies, they'll go for a champagne. Champagne is their religion now. And whiskey is their kundalini. They cannot understand God. How can they, when they have made God according to their own conception of falsehood? As a mother, I have to warn you, be careful. Do not play about with yourself. Do not go down, but come up, and come up. I am here to help you. I am here to work for you day and night, that you know I work very hard for you. I'll spare no efforts to help you and do everything that is possible to make you all right to pass this examination of last judgment. But you have to cooperate with me, and you have to go headlong about it and devote most of your time for Sahaja Yoga and for imbibing all that is great and noble. Kalaki is a very big subject, and if you see the Kalaki Purana is such a big book, of course a lot of trash is also in there. But when is the time coming? If people we'll say this is a living process, when the work will be finished, when we will see that there's no more chance of having any more people in this line, Kalaki will come down. Let us see how many come in, but there is a limit also of that. So I would request you to go out, call your friends, call your relations, call your neighbors, all of them. Tomorrow is the last day of my program here of Navratri, where we are going to have a little felicitation from the mother. To me, the greatest felicitations will be when in this Bombay, I will find more people realize taking to Sahaja Yoga seriously. And after coming to Sahaja Yoga, not to indulge in backbiting and small petty-mindedness and getting angry with each other, but being sensible and wise. It is most surprising those who are supposed to be the cream of the nation, the most sophisticated people, are so petty-minded and useless. I have to tell you these things because of the immediate emergency that is coming forward before me. And I am only praying that it should not be in Bombay that it should start. Bombay had gone into the verge, if you remember, the day when Rajesh Shah phoned me that, "Mother, what about rain? What about rain? What about rain?" I wouldn't answer him till he said, "Mother, I know you are angry with Bombay people, but still forgive them, answer rain." And that is the night when you started getting all this rain. Next calamity, beware of it. I have to tell all Bombay people, every time I come back, I find this kind of a nonsense of these Sahaja Yogis, getting after one man somewhere and getting lost. And the another thing is that Bombay people are still most unaware of what is going to fall into them. Most unaware how they are made from amoeba to prestige. What God has done for them and what they have to do for God. It's a very, very sad affair, extremely sad for the whole of the country because people try to follow this Bombay. There are so many people who would like to follow an actor and an actress than to follow God. This is the trouble with our superficial temperaments. I have to say that we have tomorrow a very good program, and also a book has been written, The Advent, by Gregor de Calibert Matten, who is a son of a baron and a Swiss boy. And when he came to me, I could see clearly that he's a seeker. Though he was a gone case, he was like a schizophrenic person. Absolutely a gone case, but I could see in him that there's a big seeker within him. And I had to work hard with him for a year to bring him around to his normal senses. But when there is not even seeking within you, and when you go that astray, what is going to happen to you? I don't know. So be careful. Be very, very careful. Today is the day of warning you because you have asked me to talk about Kalaki. He is placed on our forehead. When the Kalaki is caught up, the chakra of Kalaki is caught up, the whole of Murdha on top goes out of order. In the Kundalini awakening, we find that the Murdha is all out of order, it doesn't rise. The whole head becomes a blockade. Such people do not allow the Kundalini to rise above the, we can say, the Hamsa chakra. At the most, they might try to raise up to Agya, but the Kundalini falls down. Of course, one of the reasons, as I said, that if you put your forehead before wrong gurus, also you suffer. But too much thinking also creates a problem on the right-hand side here, and one of the aspects of Kalaki gets spoiled, and there is an imbalance created on this side. The whole forehead, if it is full of lots of bumps, then one must know that the Kalaki chakra is out of order. If the Kalaki chakra is out of order, the person is about to go into some sort of a very bad calamity. Is a sign of a person who is going to get. When the Kalaki chakra is caught up, all your fingers start burning. On the hands and on the palm, sometimes even in the body, you get terrible burning. A person's Kalaki chakra catching means he might be down with a horrible disease like cancer, maybe leprosy, maybe any such diseases, or maybe that he is about to collapse into some sort of a calamity. So Kalaki chakra must be kept all right in balance. At least there are 11 sub-chakras of the Kalaki chakra. And out of them, at least try to keep some of them alive so that others can be rescued. But if all the chakras are ruined, then it is very difficult to give you realization. What is the thing one should do to keep your Kalaki all right? To keep your Kalaki all right, you must have that awe for God. If you do not have awe for God, if you are not afraid of God, if you are not afraid that if you do wrong, He is there with His wrath, and that He is a wrathful God, and that He is full of poison for us if we try to do anything wrong, if there is no fear of that. Not that it is to be hidden from me or from anybody else, but not you yourself know that you are doing wrong. If you are doing something wrong and you know in your hearts of hearts that I am doing something wrong, please don't do it. Otherwise your Kalki will go out. When you have that awe for God and you know that God is all pervading, He is all powerful, He has powers to raise us to this state of higher being, and also He has power to bestow all the blessings that He had. He is the most compassionate God, or we can say the most compassionate Father that one can think of. But in the same way, He has a wrath. And that wrath, when falls upon you, be very, very careful. As a mother, I have to warn, be careful about the wrath of your father. Because if he comes on you with that wrath, nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. And the compassion of mother also will not be listened to, because he may say that you have spoiled your children by giving them too much looseness. So I have to tell you that please don't do anything that is wrong, and do not make me feel bad about it, because for a mother it is very difficult to tell these things. It's very hard for a mother who has a tender heart and a kind heart for you to say all these things. But I have to request you that don't play about, because your father is full of wrath and he can punish you if you do anything wrong. But if you do anything for him or for your own being, for in your self-realization, you will be placed in the highest position. Today you may be the biggest millionaire, you may be the richest man, you may be the greatest political leader, you may be the prime minister and all that nonsense. In the presence of God, those who are dear to God will be placed at the highest positions, and not all these worldly things which look so interesting and enchanting to you. The most important thing, where are you as far as God is concerned? That relation you must establish by first finding out yourself, your Atma, through Sahaja Yoga, and then relating yourself to that. May God bless you all. Now we'll have a session of Sahaja Yoga for you to get corrected. And I would like those people who have not been here before to come forward to get their realization, and all the Sahaja Yogis to help me today. Because today being Kalki's day, vibrations have been a bit too much.
We just take a moment before Aarti to put our attention on ourselves, requesting, praying that may the manifestations of innocence as Shri Ganesha, as Shri Kartikeya, as Lord Christ, as Shri Kalki, may they manifest within us. Also, we'll be very alert that we don't do anything against our own consciousness, but do things or become that which nourishes, grows the divinity within us. You can take a mantra of Shri Ganesha, Shri Kartikeya, Shri Jesus, Shri Kalki. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha, Shri Kartikeya, Shri Jesus, Shri Kalki Sakshat, Shri Adi Shakti, Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. You can bow down and get up for Aarti.
सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने दिए अवतार, माँ कितने दिए अवतार। विष विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला माँ, कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना।
महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री भगवती माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।